Hey guys, how's it going? And welcome back to the channel. Now today's a little bit different vlog for one thing I'm standing up instead of sitting down, and the other one is I'm doing that because I'm going to be ripping my desk to pieces and rebuilding it again using this, the ATEM Mini Pro. Hey there, welcome back. Now the first thing I want to do before we get into this is just remind you to click on the subscribe button if you haven't already so you don't miss any other videos. There's the like button and all the share button, all that sort of stuff, and of course leave any comments or questions you've got about the video today or about anything else in the comment section below and I will get back to them. Okay, let's start ripping my desk to pieces. First of all, I'll have a look and just show you what I've got here. This here of course is the ATEM Mini Pro ISO. You've seen this around before, I'm sure. If you haven't, there's heaps of stuff on here. I've got some other really cool videos of me unboxing this, and well, you're going to know all about this one after watching this video. Now, what I've got on my desk here already, I'll just show you. Sorry about the moving the camera around a lot today, but this is all about ripping my workstation to pieces and rebuilding it, so I don't really have a stable desk to work with. So here I've got the ATEM Mini I've already got. It's just sitting here, and I've got all my cables and everything plugged into the back of it, and it goes to all these monitors I've got from this camera. This is my main camera here that I shoot with, which is the Sony A7S II. I've got this one up here, which is a brilliant little camera. This is the RX100 Mark V. And I've got microphone here. I've got the iMac here that I use for graphics and things, and that goes into channel 4 on here. I've got the Blackmagic Video Assist here that I record everything on, and I've got these monitors sitting around the side that just pick everything up, and as you can see, this is where Alexa Dixon was here before recording something, and it's just kept a still frame on here. I've also got the Atmos Ninja 2 that I use a fair bit here as a backup recorder, other lights and everything, and now I'm going to be ripping a lot of that sort of stuff out of here and optimizing the workflow, because now I can use the multi-view on the Mini Pro ISO, and I can use this monitor here, which I will be swapping out later for something with better image and everything, but I'm going to be using that, so I'll be able to see all 4 of my monitors on there and other video sources as well as the program out, so I don't need all of these, and I'm not going to need to use the video assist here either, because I'll be able to record directly to the Samsung SSD right off the back of the ATEM Mini Pro ISO. So right, let's start by pulling the old ATEM out and turning that off, and just getting everything off the desk that I don't need there. So I'll start by ripping all the cables out the back of here, one at a time. The network cable, the USB cable that's currently going to the Mac Mini, and the HDMI out, and the 4 HDMI in cables, and of course the microphone cable from the microphone. Okay, so there's the old ATEM Mini. I'm still going to be using this, of course, so if anybody wants it, you're tough out of luck. I'm just going to be moving that onto another desk, so that'll be going into another shed that I've got here, which is a separate studio building alongside this studio building. And now I'm going to plug this thing here in. I've got the power for it here. That just goes straight in the back there. I'll just flip that around so you can see I've got the power and the network cable, the USB, HDMI out, the 4 HDMI in ports, and the 2 microphone in ports. It's the same as the other one basically. I've got the USB cable here. There we go, USB-C. I've got the network cable that I'm going to pull across and put that into here as well. There it is. The audio, I'm going to grab that from around here and plug that into mic 1 port. HDMI out, that's in, that's that camera. And finally I've got my HDMI out. They can go into the HDMI out. Rightio. So that's the basic setup. I've got one camera in here, I've got the audio in, I've got the video out, and I've got the USB-C going out. and that USB-C is going to go straight into the SD disc here. Pretty easy and straightforward really. And now I'm just going to turn this monitor on, and hopefully what we'll see come up in half a second is the multi-view. And there we go, we've got the multi-view, and there's my camera, there's preview, program out, camera 1, and of course a whole pile of other bits and pieces down here. And that's all coming straight out of the ATEM straight away. So that's a pretty ugly initial desk setup. Now I'm just going to go and grab a couple more cables and make sure I've got my other cameras around the right place, and we'll start plugging some more stuff in. Okay, the next thing for me to look at is removing all of these bits and pieces from my desk that I don't actually need here anymore. And I can start with the video assist here. So I'll just unplug that and move it off to the side. Then I can look at these monitors I've got here. Now the purpose that these have been serving is basically what I've got here in the multi-view, because I couldn't see what I had on each camera without actually switching live to it, and that's not a good idea. You want to be able to see what you're doing before you can get there, especially when you're using multiple cameras. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the feed out of the back of each of these and move it into the new ATEM down here. So let's start with this one here. Now this is one of the cameras. I'll just pull that out of there, and I can just move the camera cable around to the front, and I'm going to actually just take these out altogether. There you go, I can just remove that, which means I can come back to these later on and use them for what they were originally intended for. And I'm just going to do the same with all of these and just pull all of the HDMI and power cables out the back of them. There's the second one gone, and the last one over here. Bye bye Alexa. Pull that out and pull the power out. The other HDMI is already out of that one. I've got a lot of disk space back already, haven't I? Okay, so now what I've got here is the ATEM and a couple of other camera feeds. So I can just put these other camera feeds around here into the back of the ATEM again, and I'll just plug that one into there. And where is the other red one I've got? Into here. There we go. I got these great braided cables as well. I'll put a link to those in the description. Finally, I've got the HDMI out from the Mac Mini, and that can go into channel 4 where I'm expecting it. And now I have a few more things here sitting in the multi-view, so I'll just show you that. So I've got camera 1, which is the A7S over here, and then I've got camera 2, which isn't actually plugged into anything at the moment. Camera 3 is the top down one I've got up here that I was showing you before. I'll just bring that down. So that's this one here, and you can see it in there. And camera 4 is my Mac Mini screen, and there you go. That's pretty cool really. And now I can just switch between those. 3, 4. There's not a lot of light on that one. I'll put something under there. There's the old ATEM. And here we go. I can just switch 1, 2, 3, 4, and that shows you what I've got up on here. That's pretty cool really. Okay, so I've got everything wired up here now, and I've skipped onto the Blackmagic Design website because what I need to do is download the 8.4 update for the ATEM switches, and that's got support for the ATEM Mini Pro ISO here. So I've downloaded that, and I'm about to install it. So I just go to my downloads here, and I double click on the zip file for the 8.4 installer. And here we go, we've got the 8.4 switcher DMG has come up, so I'll double click that so that it mounts it, and you'll see that pops up. Just over here is a new window, and I can install the 8.4 ATEM software by double clicking that. And here we go, we can just click on the continue button and finish the install off. Agree to the terms and conditions of course, and finally the install button and let it do its thing. And finally, as you can see, it's successful, so I can get rid of the installer and launch the ATEM setup utility. Okay, here you can see we've got the setup utility with the ATEM Mini Pro ISO. So what I'm going to do is just click that there. There's an update available for the ATEM straight away. That's cool, we'll just install that. That's one thing I really do appreciate with Blackmagic, is that they do a lot of firmware updates for their hardware as well as just the software updates, and it keeps your stuff optimized all the time. They've got a really good structure for doing that. There's probably more updates on the Blackmagic gear than any other equipment I've ever owned. There's a lot of the gear I buy that says it's capable of updates, and you can get patches, but you might only see one every 2 years. You might only ever get one update ever in the lifespan of a camera. But Blackmagic really put a lot of effort into making improvements and fine-tuning. Okay, that's complete now, so I can just click done. And now I can have a look and see what's happening with here. So it's all just set up over DHCP. That's great. So what I'm going to do here is change the switching mode to program preview and hit save. And now what I can do over here, you can see I've got the program window and the preview window, and I've got all my different bits and pieces here. What I can do is say if I want camera 4, HDMI input 4 to be my next one, I can just hit that on the ATEM down here, and that sets that up. So there's my program, which is currently what's going out, and this is my next video. So if I decide I want to do a transition of some sort, so there's a 1 second mix, so that's fine. Then if I hit the auto button down here, it transitions my program like that to the next one, and what was my program now becomes my preview, and I can hit that one there to be my next one, auto transition, and I get that nice crossfade and stuff. And that's something that was really difficult to do on the original ATEM, because you had to set up a whole screen of different monitors and things like that, or program preview it on using the ATEM switching utility software on the computer or on a laptop or something. You couldn't just do it here on the mixer, and now we can do the whole thing just with the ATEM Mini ISO down here. They've got the multi-view here, it's all set up, ready to go. Bob's your auntie, and happy joy. So now all I need to do is test out the hard drive part of it, which I've got here. That's it, it's all plugged in nicely down here, and I'm now going to just hit record on the ATEM Mini and see if it comes up on the disk, and check that out over on the other Mac. So the record button is just here. So now in theory it's recording all 4 of the camera feeds. You can see I've got them here. I've got camera 1, 2, 3 and 4. They're all coming up there. That should now be recording all 4 of those plus the program out, including a DaVinci Resolve project. So when I just go and switch on here, and I can go cut to 1, cut to 2, cut to 3 and cut to 4. Those cuts should be in a DaVinci Resolve project sitting on the disk with the 4 video feeds from the 4 HDMI sources I've got and the completed program out, so I can just use the program out and upload that if I want and I'm happy with it. Or I can open up the DaVinci Resolve project and edit it around and change how the cuts work and things like that. It keeps all your transitions as well. If I use the auto to get that nice crossfade like we're doing up here, then it'll keep those transitions and all that sort of thing. And there's also the keying that's on here, the picture-in-picture stuff. Picture-in-picture, of course, if you use the first camera, which is always this one, that's my A7S, I can hit picture-in-picture over on here and turn that on, and tell it to go up into one of the corners. So I'll just put it up in that corner. Now you can see that's happening up here. All of that sort of thing, there's visual effects and the keyer, the upstream, downstream keyers, the media library, everything like that will be stored and kept in this DaVinci Resolve project on the hard drive. Anyway, I think I've let that run long enough, so I'll hit the stop button there on the record, so that's stopped. I can also stream directly from here, but I'm going to do that in another video. Oh, also down on here, there's the multi-view that we're looking at the moment, but I can also tell it to isolate one of the particular cameras and see it full screen, and that's really cool because it means that I can have a good look and make sure that the video feed is good quality in the full screen view. Also, of course, the program out, so I can see the switching and stuff like that full screen as well if I want it, and that's very cool. So most of the time I'm just going to stick it straight to the multi-view though, because that way I can just see everything that's going on. Oh, another really cool thing I thought I should point out is the audio levels down here as well. So you can see the audio levels from each of the 4 cameras along here. So we've got camera 1, camera 2, camera 3, camera 4, so if it's got audio coming in from those you can see what the levels are, and also from the microphone and both the microphone inputs and of course the program out. At the moment they're all off, but if I was to turn, say, microphone 1 on, then you can see of course the microphone 1's on and the program out's using that microphone. There you go. You can also mix it up and follow video with them as well if you're in an interview situation, so that you can switch the microphone on per camera, all that sort of thing. All that usual powerful cool stuff that was in the original ATEM Mini is also in the Mini Pro ISO as well. It's just got more and more stuff. Well, okay, there we have it all sitting down here, all ready, hunky-dory and pretty good, I have to say myself. I'm really happy with that. It's a quick setup. It works smoothly and evenly like I'm used to with the Blackmagic stuff. If you're doing the same type of videos and things that I'm doing, or live events or music videos or whatever, this is a great thing to do. It's going to remove so much time and angst and trouble out of your production time. I'm also using it as a really good excuse to start moving more to DaVinci Resolve, which I've been playing around with a lot but haven't really moved to for production yet. DaVinci Resolve is fantastic software. So is Final Cut. I mean, I love it. Yeah, that's it. So this has been absolutely brilliant. If you've enjoyed this and you found it useful, I'd just like to say hit the subscribe button down here, and so you don't miss any more of my videos coming up, and of course these two videos up here as well, because they're also going to be really useful to you, because I'm covering this sort of stuff all the time. And I'll see you in the next video. Have a good one. Bye.